Sartori.
The opinions expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect those of the host or the producers. Hello again, and welcome to UCR, Universal Connection Radio, where everyone is on the same frequency. Today's show is a very, very special show. It's a two-part show. 2016 forecast on our celestial opportunities with our very own star shaman, Mary Dusina. I'm also very pleased to announce that Mary will be joining us here on UCR on a monthly basis to give and share important celestial insights and intuition. Mary has been helping people for over 35 years. Mary is an extraordinary lady who has honed in on her gifts, her talents, to help others find light and happiness, connection, and their magnificence. And just so you know, Mary and I have been brought together to shine a very bright light, directing us all to tune into the frequency of knowing. And this launch of light is our special gift to you. I'm very excited and grateful to welcome Mary Dusina. Hi, Mary.
Thank you. What a beautiful flow of words from the heart, Roxanne, from the heart. I was meditating and breathing in, as we know to do. We want to inhale excellence. And the flow of that and how Spirit was acknowledging and grateful to us to acknowledge this divine compass. For all of you out there, thank you for your attention now and always.
Yes.
But how divine guidance leads us at the right time, at the right place, to the life theater directors, actors, players, scripts that we're to be a part of. So it led Roxanne and I together.
Yes, it did.
Through cyberspace. I deal with spaces of energy all the time, as Roxanne does with her frequency training and spot checks. Mm-hmm. But when whether I'm looking at someone's celestial medicine wheel, our birth chart is our medicine wheel. It's our starry signature, and it's the dancing opportunities of our soul, the sweetness of our soul. Is it a religion? No. Let me say that again. When people say, I don't believe in astrology, I've done this lifetime, over 35 years per what you said, Roxanne, and I don't believe in astrology as my religion or as my spirituality. It is a fabulous energy therapist. It is a wonderful map like you have in your vehicles, a lot of you, your GPS, on your smartphones and your notepads and your Apple this and the fruit of your techno world. But astrology is your signature Google. It's your way to look at the road ahead, and you always have choice. That's what God has gifted us. And you have choice to take these seeds of light that are triggered, vibrated, stimulated, if you will, in electromagnetic frequency from the current movements of the planets, like for the time measure that we're calling this year of 2016 of our Lord, and how those vibratory stimulants, those antennas, are coming in just like your Wi-Fi. Do you see it? No. Do you pay for it? Yeah. So just like Wi-Fi, it's a celestial Wi-Fi happens. It's funny to me when people will say, "Oh, I don't believe in astrology. How could all those planets out there affect me?" Well, there's magnetic storms and solar flares and this X-class this and M-flare that. And trust me, all the systems go down at the stores when it hits. If we had a electromagnetic pulse, it could shut down the electronic grids, in the country. I mean, they're worried about that now, these EMC pulses type of things. So
Sure.
There's all kinds of wonderful dark matter physics, what they're coming out with now that we mystics have known for a long time. There's
right.
all kinds of invisibility, yet very viable frequencies and healings and ancient archetypal magnificence out there that if you can just get out of your ego only, because ego does serve a very important purpose.
Yes, it
If you
does.
can get out of your ego and you can get out of your mindset of I, blah, 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 need to be right more than get it right.
That's wonderful.
If we can understand that we are dancing in a myriad of dimensions, that we're multifaceted, and we're in a multi-universe, multiverse, multifaceted, biochemical, electromagnetic, prismatic rainbow creatures, and we have a carbon-based earth suit, we have a skin suit, and my favorite expression to get people off of I'm blah 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 this lifetime, I'm married to, this is my kids, this is my hope. I say to them, okay, the First Nations peoples refer to this walkabout as well as the Aboriginal as my spirit came here and slipped on skin to walk this world for a while. And that's as real as it gets, because we can debate all day long, where did my spirit come from, besides the DNA matchup of the sperm and the egg, and where is it going to? Where is it going to? Now, we can fight about that, have wars over that, as has happened in history.
Yes.
But how about the present moment, right here, right now, and how many abundant gifts of energy in your free, in your living room, in your bedroom, on the phone. It's right here available for you. It always has been. The force has always been with you if you don't eclipse yourself and go against it.
Well, that is the issue, isn't it?
Yes.
Not noticing, not going with it, going against it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And that's a feeling.
That's a feeling.
It's a feeling. You can, all of you have the gift right now to feel with your own internal antennas, your beautifully made hearts, and the soul likes to hang out right there at your heart chakra, at your heart center. You all have the ability, when you're going to dinner with someone, when you're having a conversation with your kids, your stepkids, your neighbors, when there's conflict and when there's pleasure. You already know. You already have the discernment skill of if that feels right, even though you're participating, or it feels heavy or like you don't want to be there. You already know that. It's a matter of allowing your higher self, allowing your oversoul, allowing your guardian angels and your beautifully made invisible causes that champion you, the energies that champion you this lifetime, and are your cheerleaders, your cosmic cheerleaders, to say, you got this, you know already. And then there's people like Roxanne and myself and a host of others, your rabbi, your priest, your shaman, your own self-study, thank you for that, your own caring, thank you for that, your own desire that whatever amount of time you've got on this earth, that you want to be that good light, that you want to make the choice of light versus darkness, of a lighthouse versus being a shadow all the time.
Well, of course, we're going to have the darkness, Mary. It's going to be there.
Yep.
But I personally believe that it's there, as all opposites are, to know the difference.
Absolutely.
And that feel, the vibration, I know by vibration when something is wrong. It's there, that feeling that says, no, you don't go down that street today. Don't do that.
And you don't argue with it. I say to my clients all the time, okay, you're developing your intuition, You're developing your first instinct, that silent, wonderful teacher, preacher, guide within you. Stop second-guessing your first insight.
Right.
You're getting in the way of yourself when you do that. Or even if someone's talking you out of it, no, stay to the party. No, go over here. And your instinct was doing the dolphin with you. It was going, no. But see, because we want to be polite or because we don't want to hurt our lover's feelings, you start to, and it isn't that you always get your way. Nobody always gets their way in societal situations, but it's very important to follow the way.
It is. And that we were talking about this earlier, is that cosmic subconscious, that knowing. And when you know something, it's not something you read in a book. It's not something somebody told you. It's inert. It's there. Yeah. And there is no separation from that knowing and you. And we all know it, but we fight it.
It's a downloaded gift. You have, if you accept or believe just the possibility that as the magnificence of what your soul is, that we perhaps, by divine design, have walked this world before, walked other dimensions before, have multi-purpose spiritual excursions and explorations going on all the time, that we're literally architects improving our light, improving our consciousness, then...
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I love how you put that.
Wouldn't it be also possible that the reason Earth is such a delicious experience, even with its pain and its broken relationships and abandonment and betrayals and laughter and tears, Earth is very rich as a vortex for learning through our feelings and our emotions. And emotions, even astrologically, and as a mystic, I can tell you that emotions have to do with the orbit of your feelings. It's feelings in motion. The energy of your emotions are emotions. And if they're flowing, or if they're dammed up, or if they're in drought, or if you're struggling to keep your head above water, oh God help me, I think I'm drowning kind of relationships and situations, then that's when you have supernatural intervention and help and angelic guidance and those people that show up in your life to be those incredibly supportive friends, the animals that are right by your side when you don't want to talk to anything human.
Yes.
The dreams, the visions, that impetus that came into you and said, stand up, rise up, rise up.
And
you have a
shout
fire
it
and
out.
yes.
Yes.
Walk on, get up, rise forth, march forth, chin up, let's go.
You didn't come here to fall down.
Exactly.
And even if you do fall down, it's time to get back up.
The process.
It is a process.
It's a teacher. It's a teacher. We go, as kids, we go into science, and then we go into English, and then we go into math, and these are all classrooms. These are all subjects that we study, and we roll our eyes, and we have homework. Well, when you graduate from all the academia schools, then you get to understand that there are enlightenment schools, and there are soul lessons, and you can either continue to be embroiled in the entangled web and psychic knots and psychological leashes and tethers and chains on your ankle of being a victim of your drama and your need to have emotional attention no matter what the cost. Or you can untether, and get out of the web, get out of other people's webs of drama and say to yourself, wow, I have choice.
Oh, isn't it so true?
And that's what 2016 is. That's what 2016 is. 2016, or what's termed as 2016, our leap year, 2016, the overarching energy of 2016 is about conscious manifestations of awakenings that started their seeds, and the little seed pods were put into the moist darkness of our unconscious, just like I plant sunflower seeds or herbal seeds in the beautiful moist earth, lovely Mother Earth Gaia, our space home for a while. And those little seeds have to go into the darkness, and I, as the gardener, have to have faith that seed I push down into the earth there, I can't keep digging it up to see if the seed punched open yet. If the leaf or the plant or the stem is unfurling, I'll just kill it because I keep disturbing its gestation. I keep disturbing the process of the invisible coming into the visible, from inside to the outside, from, the unknown to the known manifestation. So 2016 is an incredible garden of awakening and awareness and a brightness like we've not known, maybe for a lot of you, depending on our various ages, yet ever.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us that have had a footprint in this world and learned how to, as a shaman, have a footprint in both worlds. Whether you're a veterinarian, an astrologer, there's different levels of shamanistic awareness. When you're not just focused on being Roxanne or Larry or Annie or Rand or Mary, when you're not just focused on me, myself, and I, and you allow that triune consciousness, you allow as above, so below on earth as it is in the heavenlies. When you take it to those higher levels of listening and embracing and discerning, then the seed that I planted into the moist earth with my physical hands, that's going on invisibly too. It's in your charts, it's in your unconscious. Then the seed breaks ground one day and I look at it and I'm like, oh, you beautiful manifestation. Look at you. There's your first little stem. There's your little head coming up to what? Reach for the light, the warmth and the light. And as a mystic, although we're going to talk about January, February, March for the signs, as a mystic, I have to tell you, both as a mystic and a star navigator, my new year begins with spring equinox. Because, number one, that's the first measured sign of the Western zodiac, Aries, at spring equinox around March 20th.
I was just about to say, what date is that?
It's always around the third week of March. And the turning of the wheel for the ancient Gaelic Celtic people and the First Nations people and the Aboriginal people and the South American deep in the rainforest and out in hibernation, the woods and all, the Eskimo, the Inuit, all the tribal people based their year and their food choices on Mother Nature's cycles and beginnings. So springtime, and the first sign of the 12 zodiac, Western zodiac, Aries, the Ram, springtime, that third week of March, and because of leap year, it might be on the 22nd. Every 4 years, it might be on the 20th. But usually, between the 20th to the 22nd, on all the season portals that open, for me, that's the springtime, the first day of spring and the spring equinox. Equinoxes are fall and spring, autumn and spring, and the solstice points, which means sun stands still, so it's an equal day-night thing. The solstice points are then summer and winter. But they all happen, just so your audience gets to get this. These are the cardinal signs, and these are the action-oriented, of all 12, these are the action-oriented cycles of a year, especially amplified when we have planets dancing in longer transits of these. So in 2016, when we have the birth of the spring equinox in 2016, when we get to that point, and I can tell you right now, March and September are the big deal, big gun months. The big mojo of 2016 are going to be March and September, mainly because of the eclipses. But this year, our spring equinox will happen on Sunday the 20th in the Eastern time zone, okay?
Of March?
Yes. So
that's
on
my
Sunday
birthday. Did you know that?
Yay! Oh, what a hallmark year for you. What a hallmark year for you.
That is my birthday.
March 20th of this year, and the moon will be in Leo. That's the beginning of the zodiac. That's spring equinox. It's a masculine cycle because the sun's going into Aries. So it's the last winter cycle every year is Pisces. The last winter cycle is Pisces. So then we start with the first sign of the zodiac, the totem of the ram, and it's all about seeds and beginnings on March 20th.
Okay.
And then when we go, and that's known as the seeding, birthing, awakening. It's from March into the summer solstice. That's our time of the year to begin things. Don't be so caught up or anal about completing everything.
And this goes for everyone? This isn't just...
Yes. This is the turning of the wheel.
Okay.
And then when we have summer solstice, which for this year will be on June 20th, that's the beginning of summer. That's the portal opening with the sign of Cancer, the sea crab. Then we have a feminine launch. We have yin energies taking off. It's yin, it's feminine, it's a water sign, it's magnetic. Back in March, it's Aries, it's yang, it's masculine, and it's electricity. It's the electrical impulses. It's driving.
Okay.
It's driving. And so when we get to summer of this year, it has to do with, and now I'm absorbing, I'm drawing down the power of the moon. It's my growing season. Because so summer to the native peoples, which I thoroughly respect, is all about the warming season and the growing season. And then this year, just to complete this wheel, on the 22nd of September, we will have the sun entering Libra, and that's fall equinox. And the sun entering Libra, that's an air sign, it's masculine. Libra is the opposite or balance or polarity sign to Aries. So what we commence and work on and plant and put in our garden of life, our garden of delights, be it relationships or job, skill crafting and everything that we're doing in March 20th with deliberation and awareness for an awakening, the awakening and the best results start to manifest in September when we get to the exact 6 months later, September 20th, when we have autumn equinox. And the one in June, June 20th, the summer solstice, is then forming a bridge. It's forming a bridge of synchronicity to heading toward winter solstice because the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius balance and are opposite of each other. So winter solstice for 2016 is going to happen on the 21st. It's also known as Yule. The day before that is called Yuletide Eve. So the 21st of December of 2016 is going to be the other side of the bridge, the other side of that beautiful bridge of light. It's tied to June. The one in March, on March 20th, is dancing and in tandem with the cycle in September when we come to autumn. And the four signs that we spoke about just then, spring Aries, autumn Libra, summer Cancer the crab, is tied to Capricorn the goat that comes up at winter in December. So those are our anchors. Those are our points, our celestial compass points as we navigate forward this year with our goals and our dreams and what we're going to stop investing in that doesn't seem to be netting any profit as far as our spiritual progress, our relationship progress, our monetary progress. So those are the points for you to do a little spot check. Those are the points for you to say, is this beginning to be an energy that uplifts me? Does this seem like that it's flowing? Or does this seem like that it's becoming heavier
Stagnant.
or weighting me down?
Okay.
Now, and then you have the other two big drivers of 2016. And since we'll be on talking each month about some of these, I'm just going to focus. I'm just going to throw this out there and we'll talk on it more in February, March.
Okay.
The big driver of the first 3 months of 2016, and I'm going to tell you as an astrologer, besides what I just told you about spring equinox being my look at the year has now started, we celebrate it in this country on January 1st. But there were retrograde planets. Mercury was retrograde as we began this year. There was a sluggish, kind of slow, that's not a bad thing. It was telling us, be pensive, study, research this, get to the platform of what it is that you're wanting to build. If you're going to build a new house, the foundation of that house is really important.
Right.
It's as important as your roof. So you got to start here, got to start at the beginning with the garden. So January and February are more preparedness months in 2016 because the big solar eclipse that starts to take place in the first week of March, that 6th, 7th, 8th, it's exact basically on the 8th, but in astrology, things blend and bloom in energy up to the exact point, and sometimes then they splay their radiance out. So don't focus on the fact that the eclipse is exact on March 8th in Pisces. What that does in the first half of the year is it favors the 6 feminine zodiac signs. There are 12 zodiac signs. 6 are masculine or yang, electrical vibrations, drivers.
Okay.
6 are feminine, that are the magnetic, the ability to really just interweave and work in tandem and be magnetic and draw to you what you need to do. As instead of just always driving forward out there. There needs to be some substance. So the eclipse being in Pisces, number one, for the first half of 2016 favors the water signs: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios. Those of you out there that have both your sun signs or your moon signs or your beginning points of your personal charts, your ascendant rising signs, in that element of water, this is a hallmark year for you. This is a year of achieving progress, both with your own psychological and spiritual growth, and yes, they go hand in hand.
Yes.
And it's also about forward thrust motion, that the changes that occur to you, although sometimes changes are disguised as disappointing dramas in our life, sometimes I think as humanoids, we look for a little pasture of pleasure or happiness, and once we get there, we're like, oh my God, it took so much work to get this happiness and pleasure in this relationship in my life. I don't want anything to change. I'm going to do everything I can to stay stuck right here because finally I'm not overstressing it all the time. Okay, so we're so resistant to change.
Oh, yes.
And change is the only constant in this incarnation. Change is the thing that you can count on. It's your life force. It's the air you wear. So the Pisces eclipse is saying to you, all of your clues, all of the mysteries to be revealed in the first 3 months of 2016 come forth from you, your dreams, your visions, your meditations, your prayer, ceremonial rituals, to get in touch with your inner landscape. This is your feelings. The water signs are, I'm not so much feeling that, or, oh man, I keep feeling this and I just don't have all the details yet, but the feeling doesn't go away. Mm-hmm. Well, gee, I wonder why.
Right, right.
So the drivers are the signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and the drivers and the great alchemical revealers for us this year are listen to your feelings. There's a lot of people out there that are wordsmiths, and they're crafty, and they're manipulative, and they're enticing, and they're tempting, and they're just fun with their words. They make us laugh, and we're drawn to the harmony of humor, and we're drawn to the harmony of that sensuality, and we're drawn to that lure of financial temptation and prosperity. At what cost, at what price? So your emotions, you're going to feel things, but listen to the wisdom of if it feels right, or it feels heavy, or it feels of light, or it feels of, your what people would maybe term their higher self or their conscience going, if you're really honest with yourself, do you really feel like you want to get involved with that? That really feel good to you?
So this time now is us preparing for the planting.
Yes, and we are awakening. Yeah, what I'm also saying to that point is that right now our garden is blooming on
already.
our inner landscape. Our fruits of our labors, our flower power, our ability to sense and learn and know and be navigated to our external planting garden. So the seeds I'm going to plant for what I want to accomplish this year here on Earth is coming up in March.
Okay.
And very stimulated between the 8th and the 23rd when we have our lunar eclipse, very stimulated during that 2-week time. But right now, what I do when Roxanne goes within herself, and Roxanne examines and analyzes, and Tom examines and analyzes, and Bob is saying, you know what, last year left me with a feeling of dread in this part of my life, or I don't feel like that I gave enough attention and managed my emotional life, my own drive and ambition. I feel like I was lazy. I feel like I dropped the ball. I feel like I was resistant. This is what we're clearing up. January and February are about looking at what felt like we came out of it with a bit of a sense of lack or disappointment, or where we were hard on ourselves, maybe too hard on ourselves, since November of last year.
Mary, we're going to stop here, and the second part, we're going to continue this.